All right, so I'm going to go through and show you how to make a lower third. The idea of a lower third is if I was to take the TV screen or monitor and divide it into thirds going down here horizontally, right? This would be the top third, you'd have a center third, and then the bottom portion here would be the lower third. The lower third typically is common with showing names or a crawl or something like that down here with additional information in video broadcasting. We're going to create a lower third with your name on it. So here under the Lancer Live team folder here under my Granite SD account, hopefully you've added yourself to the team and we did that in class. I have a folder here with Essential Graphics for Premiere. Right click on that and I'm going to choose to download it. Okay, and it's going to create a zip file. It's going to download the zip file. It's quite a few gigabytes worth, so it's going to take a little while. I've already pre-downloaded it just for this video, just to help speed things up. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel that download. But while it is downloading, you can go ahead and jump in Premiere and start getting Premiere set up. In Premiere, you're going to create a new project. We're going to title that project simply Lower Third. And I already have one created, but we're going to just call it Lower Third. You may already have one as well as the course progresses. It says, hey, you want to override it? That's because I already did this before once. And so I'm going to say, yeah, let's override it with a new one. Yours probably does not look like my workspace initially. It may look more similar to this learning profile, which has these kind of videos and things like that to show you things. I'm going to kind of blow past that and suggest that you come here under Window and choose Workspaces and All Panels so that we can see all of these different panels in through here. Now to add those, after you get them all downloaded, we're going to come back here to Finder, and in Finder what we're going to do is see the folder that we have the downloads in, and I've already had the downloads in there because I actually moved them out already once. But you will go through and then come here under Go and then press the Alter Option key and choose your library. Under Library, you'll choose Application Support. Now, again, this may be here under a thumbnail view, it may be here under a list view, or you may have the different panels here. Looking here under the panels though, Application Support, I'm going to choose Adobe. And then under Adobe, I'm going to choose Common. And then under Common, I'm going to choose the Motion Graphics Templates. And this is where you will then come back and choose File, New Finder window, and you will find all of those downloads. Now, I've already moved them off to the trash, and you can see there they are, those different ones that are there. And I've already moved all those in. But you're going to then take the downloads from your download folder and drag all of those over into this panel. Or if you're looking at it from a folder view, you'll see then it's going to just be your Motion Graphics Templates folder, and then you're going to move in all of these easy edit elements, okay, as well as this emoji folder, looks, and some other things, love and effects, and some of those. So you're going to move all of those in there. And once you move all of those folders in Premiere, under the Essential Graphics little section here, you'll see that then you have some additional elements there available to you that are pre-designed to help kind of expedite things. To find the right one, I'm going to simply type in thirds underscore, and I'm going to type the number 12. So we're going to be looking for this 39 easy edit lower thirds 12. This is the one that I'm going to have y'all do for right now. Okay, and then this is simply a type. It says type kit. There's some type fonts that we need to add to it. Now currently I can't just click and drag it out here necessarily. You'll see it doesn't actually come out. What I have to do is actually create a sequence. To do that, I'm going to come down here to my project panel, okay, and I'm going to choose the little new icon. It looks like a little post-it note. And I'm going to choose to create a new sequence. I'm going to choose to do this new sequence under this Digital SLR 1080p. 1080p is simply progressive versus interlaced. So 1080p, and I'm going to choose to do it at the 30 frames a second, which for the US is actually 29.97. You can see that there. And I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And that's going to create this new sequence. With this new sequence now out on my timeline, now I can click and drag that out to this video 1 little track here. If I press the / key, you'll see that then it kind of has it fit into the window there that we need it to fit into. And if I scrub the playhead, this little playhead through, you can see what it does. It shows the information there. And it shows it all nice and neat right there in that lower third region. Now, I'm not Ann, nor are you. So we need to edit that. So to do that, I'm going to select the actual clip. I'm going to come here and choose to retype the name. Okay. So I've typed the name. I've typed my name. Okay. Then you're going to have what position that you're serving. You may just have under this, let's just type Lancer Live Staff. And then if you would like to encourage you can do your own social media. Now, if you don't like Facebook social media, maybe use Instagram or something else, you can certainly do that and change that out. And I'll show you how to do that in just a moment here. What you might do though, and I don't know mine off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's ed.gans is what I have. But if I need to change that, I have down here under the bottom, so I'm kind of scrolling down, I have a different logo. So there it is right there. If I don't want it at all, I could turn it off. But if I want it, you can see I have 1 to 9 options. I'm currently set on 6. So if I went here, you could see we have several different options, including LinkedIn, which probably very few of you have, Snapchat, I believe that's Twitch, Facebook, don't know what that one is, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and Dribbler, and a few, I think that's it. So I can go ahead and choose my Instagram one, okay? Leave the colors the exact same, okay? We're going to leave the positioning where it is for the first one, bottom left, right? So now what I need to do is export this out. So I'm going to do one that's called File, Export Media. Okay, a little dialog window should pop up here in a minute. If it doesn't, you may have to go back to it. You can also notice the keyboard shortcut for that was Command M. So sometimes it doesn't work using the menu for me, but I can press Command M, and sometimes that does work. So again, Command M should bring that window up. So it took mine a minute or two to come up there. Thing to point out though, I also noticed while I was waiting there for that to come open, here under the Creative Cloud, it updated these fonts in the background. So if you need to manage your fonts or browse for them, you can definitely choose to do that. And through there, you have FontKit, which connects up your Adobe Creative Cloud to the Adobe font system. But this pulls up my dialog box. So let's go through this real quick. Format, we are going to need it to be a QuickTime format. This isn't the Apple ProRes we need though. We need the ProRes 444 with alpha. The alpha channel is what's going to make that transparent. So all that black area then becomes transparent to it. Okay. Under here, under output name, this is where I can say, hey, let's send this to my desktop. I want you to name it your name. Okay, I just capitalized my first name, capitalized my last name, but otherwise made it all one word there, right? And then I'm going to put an underscore, and then what I'm going to do is put RT for the right, but right now we're going to just do the left one, right? So I'm going to go for the left. I can type that out if I want, or just LT, that's fine for left. And then I'm going to put an underscore, and then I'm going to type lower, and then with a capital T, third. Okay, so I know this is going to be mine, it's going to be the one that goes on the left, and it's going to be my lower third. And I'll go back through this left and right here in a second, but just so you see, that's how I'm going to name this, and I want you to use that same kind of naming format. You can put it to your desktop for the moment. After we export all this out, we'll show you where you're going to put them eventually. No audio is needed for this, right? Because there's no audio track to it even. It's just a quiet little clip to it. Okay, so video pro tip here, the video codec, you can see again, it's that Animate 444, right? We do want it to have that transparency to it. So this under depth, 8-bit, right, per channel, and then it's got the alpha. That's the key there. We need the alpha. So we get that alpha, gives it that transparency. And then everything else we can leave alone, and then we're going to hit export. This is going to export it out now to our desktop. Okay. So this has created that lower third. The left one. What I'm going to do here is actually come here under my program sequence quickly. Notice that's a little different than that. And then I'm going to click the little wrench, and you can see here I've got safe margins turned on, and you can see the distance here from the left hand side of this title safe margin. Okay. What I'm going to do is select, and I'm going to choose to change our y-axis. The x-axis I'm going to leave alone, right? But we're going to change this. Excuse me, I had it backwards, not x, but y. We're going to change these, right? So what I'm going to do is simply move this over. So we'll have one standing where you're right there standing on the left-hand side of the screen, but at times when y'all are working with partners, you'll have one standing on the other side. So I'm going to move that over. Notice I left that at 540 though. That's the key. Okay, so I moved that over that exact same distance there. So now you can see now when it comes out, it drops and plays just right there. Same thing. Now I'm going to come back, okay, choose to export again that media. I'm going to keep those exact same things here, QuickTime, ProRes 444 with alpha. Again, no audios needed. I don't need to have that, but what I'm going to do is just click my last one, but instead of LT, I'm going to just make this RT for the right lower third. Okay, I'm going to hit save. Everything else is the same. I'm going to hit export. It's going to export that out. Okay, so you can see it exporting that out. So now back here on my desktop, I could see, hey, I've got a lower third and then I've got a upper third, and those should have transparency to them. Why don't I see anything? It's going to take a little bit of time for that preview to show up. That's fine. Okay, so to show you what those would look like in Ecamm. Now y'all don't have Ecamm yet on your computers, and nor will you have Ecamm, but if we showed you on Ecamm what it might look like, Ecamm is a free download if you ever want to try it. But what Ecamm would look like, and I can download it here just to show you, it's just Ecamm Live, and I can just find that right there. Okay. It's a pretty quick little download. This is what we use to stream, and currently what we're using to record our shows on. Okay, so there's Ecamm Live. You can see there it is. It's going to ask me, hey, do I need to install it? Those kind of things. That you won't be able to drag it to applications on these computers, but you could at home maybe drag it in there and drop it if you needed access to it. Maybe you wanted to play around and figure out. Saying it's just simply an application we downloaded online. That's great. Saying he wants to access my camera. Okay, I can say that. My microphone, sure. I can hit accept. Now we'll have a little dialog screen that pops up here in a minute that says, hey, do you want to sign up? They do have a free version. You heard that right, a free version. We use the paid version in here, and I'll walk you through that in a little bit in another tutorial. But for right now, we'll just use this one right here. So let me log into it real quick by pausing our video. All right, so I'm logging in, as you can see. Type my password now, and so it's going to log me in. Logging in, it just gives you a few additional features. One of which is this restream that we'll be using in class. But then we can use then to record. That's what we'll be doing for the first month or so of school. All right, currently you can see in here I have no overlays. We want to add a motion overlay just to kind of show you what this would be. And then it's going to be the desktop, and then you can choose right lower third or left lower third, depending on where we're standing on the screen. And you can see that's exactly what that will look like. That's why we want that transparency to it. Let me do another one here. This time I'll do the left one. That way if you're standing in screen and you're standing over here to the left, you've got left and your name on the left. So that's how we can add those in there at the same time even, because we could have a default scene with both of these showing here so that you actually could have it show at the exact same time. So you can see, boom. Now they show at the same time. So if you're working with a partner and y'all are both doing these at the exact same we can have your name showing there for you. So that's what we're going to do with those. After you've exported them, come back here to the Lancer Live team drive. We've got a folder set up called Lower Thirds. You'll want to then either choose to upload those by going File, New, File, Upload, or if you're going to used to working with just clicking and dragging, I could come back here and I could see those two things. Select them both by, I just pushed Command to select both, or you could press select one, press Shift, select the other, and then you could drag and drop. Okay, so that's the idea. You want to add those in. This is going to upload both of those lower thirds so that every single GTV Lancer Live broadcasting student is going to have a right lower third and a left lower third. They're all going to be that exact same design and look. So they're going to look like this right there. There's the right one, and there's my left one with that transparency. It looks so nice. And so that's the way we're going to start things off. And hopefully this tutorial helped you understand a little bit more about Premiere and how we're going to be doing things in here. Okay, thanks.